Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose, man. Let me tell you, the more I listen to these people talk, the more it sounds like fans are just losing faith when it comes to boxing. And they attribute that to the lying promoters and the fighters. You see, fans just want, good fights. But they want not only good fights, but the right fighters at the right time fighting each other. And when you come out here promising us that, people tend to get pissed off. And I'm just going to tell you, man, the long-term effects of being lied to, or at least disappointing boxing fans, I think it just damages the well-being of not only boxing, but the minds of the boxing community. Now, you can sit here and tell me as a boxing fan that I'm 100% healthy. This was the best training camp. Get in the ring and underperform and tell me, well, I had injuries. I'm going to lose respect for you. You can come out here and say that you offered somebody a contract, most money they would make. Then the person comes back and say, hey, that's not true, you lied. They did have a conversation, but they were trying to hit us with like a 90%, 10% split, 80%, 20% split. That's going to cause us to lose some respect for you because boxing fans deserve to see the best fight the best. But little bitty lies are okay. But just out and out fibs, that's a problem. Now, Deontay Wilder's returning to the ring. Anthony Joshua is also going to be returning at some point in time. Those are two fighters that I've noticed their support bases have just totally turned against them. Not everyone, but a lot. And I sat here and I had to ask myself, why is it that boxing fans have just turned on AJ and Deontay Wilder? And what I realized is that it's like a psychological effect of them feeling they've been misled or they've been lied to by Wilder and AJ. When you listen to AJ say he's back, he's 100%. He's worked through his demons. Demons being the beings Andy Ruiz put on him. And then you listen to Deontay Wilder over and over tell us he's back, he's a killer again, he's got the fire in him, he's this, he's that, he's gonna do this and that, the big right hand, blah, blah, blah. At this point in time, when it comes to not just them, a lot of fighters, but those two in particular, man, the boxing fans have lost trust in them. And when it comes to Eddie Hearn and these promoters who are promoting guys like an AJ and not quite sure what Wilder's doing as far as a promoter, but Eddie Hearn did have his hands on Wilder for a very brief moment. The boxing fans lose trust because you just don't know what you're going to get anymore. You know what I'm saying? People out here, let me tell you something. They don't want to buy the pay-per-views. Some don't even want to go to the fight and support it. Because they're like, man, these guys are washed up. They keep telling us their personal lives are back to normal. That's a lie. Professionally, they're firing on all cylinders. They're going to get in the ring. They're going to show us something that we haven't seen in a while. That's a lie. And as a result, they lose trust. And let me tell you something, man. Trust, this is just my experience, man. Whether it's like, intimate or professional or just the trust of a fan, it's crucial to maintaining, I think, that rapport between the boxer and the fan base. And I just think, when that trust is eroded through lies or misleading the fans, I just think what you end up happening, man, is it changes the relationship. And that's why you see a lot of people who are supporting a lot of these fighters, not just Wilder and AJ, but we're talking about those two in particular. You see them go from praising them, lauding them, championing them to go on and do something great, to saying, I'm not buying the fight. They're washed up, they're bums. These guys are just out here, man, trying to get our money. They're no longer really out here trying to fight the best and be the best. They're just out here just trying to get a paycheck now. Now, I don't agree with that, but I do understand the importance of trust. And when you lose that trust, fighter to fan base, you're in trouble. Because what happens, you start to lose faith in the system. That's where you get these promoters that come out here and trying to tell you how great their guy is or how great they're looking in training, and you try to sell us wolf tickets about what they're going to do in the fight. And then you just realize, you know what, man, these promoters and shit, these dudes might as well be like trying to get involved in politics, man, and become political leaders and managers to the general public, because that's essentially what they're doing, except to a small community, which is like their roster. And the general public would be the boxing fans. But when it comes to trust levels, and let me tell you something, when you're not being truthful and that shit gets revealed, the trust level, that shit is decimated, man. But perhaps unsurprisingly, I think the participants, when it comes to supporting these promoters and these fighters, when you try to come back and regain that trust, they're going to be less likely to want to mess with you, man. And that's why it's so hard for some of these fighters, man. You know, once you come out here and you leave a bad taste in some of these boxing fans' mouths, you just can't come back. You know who comes to mind? Adrian Broner. You know what I'm saying? Adrian Broner has lied to the boxing public for way too long. You know what I'm saying? They lost faith in him. They lost trust in him. And now you want to come back and tell us you're going to do X, Y, and Z. People are sitting here like, you know what, man? Everything you're saying, it benefits you. It doesn't even benefit the system. And we recognize what you're up to. And for me, I sit back here now, and you know, I feel that a lot of times I look at things when it comes to boxing through a different lens, just because of, you know, my experience in life. And you're just talking about human capital now. The most valuable resource, people. The fighters are people, the fans are people. And one thing I'm going to tell you about people, the number one thing that's the most important when it comes to your success is the right attitude. But the number one thing people demand, not for you to have the best attitude, right? When it comes to boxing fans, they want to be respected, just like fighters want to be respected. But I'm going to tell you what, man, when it comes to relationships between boxers and boxing fans, it's just different levels of respect. And look, the views may not always be synonymous, because you're talking about a fighter who has to get in that ring, put his life on the line to try to make money for his family. Then you got the boxing fans who want to sit back and just watch you, you know, possibly, you know, get killed in that ring. And sometimes boxing fans aren't going to understand the decisions these fighters make, maybe to fight someone in particular, to not fight someone. So then they start feeling disrespected, and they start changing the way they feel about that person. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like, hey, this person's, in a sense, almost not being honest with them. And look, that can cause people, man, to put that cold shoulder on you. And when they start doing that shit, you know, that means that they don't have the confidence to trust you anymore. And I think when you see fighters lose trust in the boxing fans, that makes them reluctant to come back to the ring. You look at what Tevin Farmer this past weekend. He was talking a lot about being robbed, the judges, even talking about boxing fans. Look at Tank Davis. Went through a tough fight with Lamont Roach. Boxing fans turned on him overnight. He's a bum. He's this. He's a hype job. He lost the fight. He this. He's a crybaby. He's been cherry picking his whole career. He finally got exposed when he fought stiff competition. You think Gervonta doesn't feel disrespected? But the fans do too, because they felt that he was going to come out there and do something that they were led to believe that he could do every time he got in the ring. But the reality is this, man, you know, everyone deserves the truth. But the truth is, the best fighter doesn't always win. It's the fighter who boxes the best on that night. And I think that's what you see happening. But that's no reason for you to, you know, to not stay in a relationship between you and your favorite fighter. You're just going to jump out the relationship and break up with him. You know what I'm saying? I just think it just shows a lack of responsibility from boxing fans at times when it comes to just totally turning their back on fighters and just ripping them a new one, especially on social media, which I think is the most toxic place, on earth. That damn social media bullshit. Anyway, when that starts happening, man, I sit back and I just got to question the relationships between the whole boxing community, man. The secret society, the people who are right in your face, the fighters, the judges, the refs, the sanctioning bodies, the commission, the doctors, everybody involved. I got to sit back and say, you know what? Just the people in our face lying to us or misleading us, or even when they're being truthful. When so much wrong happens, so you start doubting everything, and you're no longer confident that what you're being told is what you're going to receive. And you start scrutinizing everything. And I think we're at a point right now where boxing's under heavy scrutiny. Look at this shit going on with Turki Al-Sheikh. Look, Bob Arum coming here talking about he and PBC about to start joining forces to put their good fighters together to battle what Turki Al-Sheikh is doing. It's like all these years we're being told one thing. Now you coming here talking about y'all gonna kumbaya to battle this guy Turki Al-Sheikh, who y'all was saying was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And that's why losing faith in boxing, thanks to lying promoters and also to some of these fighters who are making us believe that they're going to come out here and put on a top-notch performance when they know deep down in their heart they don't want to be in the ring no more. It's crazy. Don't get me started on the pad issues. How many of these people know who's cheating and condoning it and allowing fighters to get in the ring? From the manager, from the trainer, from the fighter, the promoter, sanctioning bodies, commission, everybody. Secret society. What you want boxing fans to do? Because when I watch every fight, I believe everybody's on that shit. That's just me. But y'all know I'm all about conspiracy theories. But why not? Why wouldn't these guys be? Cats working with Usman Sajjad, the snack bullshit with Victor Conti, Heredia. I don't know who's still out here working with Ariza. But all I'm saying is, you just don't know. And you know what? Nobody, there's a good chance maybe nobody's on PEDS. I doubt that, but you just don't know what you're getting. When you see guys getting here and throw 70 to 100 punches around, from the first round to the 12th round, the fight goes the distance. How? They're fucking aliens. You want us to have faith in boxing though, right? Yeah, man. Boxing's great, yeah. You don't know if the playing field is level or not. So a guy like me, when I'm always doing my videos, people are like, oh, hood champion, here you go to conspiracy theory. You goddamn right, I'm on high alert. I'm on high alert. And I'm going to keep being that way, you know what I'm saying? Now, if there was a trust and faith there, we'd have a pretty easygoing state in a relationship between the boxing community, man. But the relationships, I think, have been somewhat severed. I think it's on the verge of a clean break. Right now, I think there's some fractures. But it's on the verge of a clean break. But whatever happens, I think, at some point in time, we're going to start getting the truth. Because when these fighters get in the ring, the truth comes to you real quick. Anyway, I just think true boxing fans and true fighters need to stop and really ask themselves, you know what I'm saying? You know what's really going on here? What am I trying to prove? Because when I watch these fighters get in the ring, if you know deep down in your heart you're doing this shit just for money, you might as well not do it because you can get killed in there. And when I look at like Deontay Wilder, man, and how he's performed in the ring, I'm concerned about him. Still rooting for him, but I'm just concerned about him. I'm concerned about all these guys who are in there and taking damage. AJ, I'm concerned about him. Them heavyweights are no joke, man. Those guys are monsters. At any weight class, you can get hurt, but I'm really concerned about those guys. Anyway, man, we'll see what happens with the Turki Al-Sheikh and his boxing league. I just think with the loss of trust between boxing fans and the boxers and the whole boxing community, I think even with Turki Al-Sheikh, I just think people emotionally are going to be triggered. That's why you see people out here so negative about what Turki Al-Sheikh's doing. They're like, oh, here comes some bullshit. You got Dana White in here, more corruption. They're telling us we're going to get all these great things. They're lying to us. We have no faith in these promoters and in this new initiative that they're pushing. That's that's what happened. It's like you trust someone and then you feel like they fooled you. Anyway, y'all keep cool. I'll talk about this more on the live tomorrow. I'm in the breeze.